Now for Taurus ascendant natives, again, as I said at the start of the video, in the introduction of this video, these are not disastrous results or results which you should be very fearful of, but these are results which are the watch out results for your rising sign. So Saturn being the 10th lord, also the lord of the 9th house of gains, and then going in degradation in the 12th house, is surely a challenging placement, especially if you are working in foreign lands, wanting to go to foreign lands, or working with foreign clients, or working in late hours, or working in those institutions where you have a solitary role, or role which is connected to the armed services, or connected to MNCs or foreign companies, or to hospitals or clinics. So this is surely a slightly tricky placement for Taurus ascendant native. Then Saturn still ruling the 10th house, going into the 2nd house of income. Yeah, Saturn is still a pretty strong placement. The only challenge here is sometimes the person may be in dual mind because of going into the Gemini sign and may not be sure of what decision to take or what decision not to take. So sometimes they delay decision making, they delay change in career, they delay asking for promotion and growth. So that's why many times for Taurus ascendant natives, 10th lord Saturn going into the 2nd house in Gemini means they get delayed results, stagnated results, or late results in their career. So this is surely a watch out placement for them. Then Saturn ruling the 10th house as well as 9th house of gains, and being the Karaka of career, and going into the 3rd house of effort, but in the Cancer sign. So this is surely a slightly challenging placement for Taurus ascendant natives, because Saturn going into the 3rd house of effort, which means your efforts may not bear as much fruit in your career as you wish it to be. And this is also a placement where later on in life the person may want to go it alone rather than continue to work under somebody. So this may be a slightly tricky placement if you don't know how to channelize your effort in the right direction. Then Venus being the ruler of the Lagna, being the Lagna lord, as well as the ruler of the 6th house of service, and then going in degradation in the 5th house of change. Why change? Because the 5th house is the 8th house to the 10th house. So surely here it means that many a times looking for change, pushing for change, not dealing well with the powerhouses or the authority figures may end up not taking the right decision, especially change is concerned. Sometimes you may leave a good job, a stable job, just because your aspirations are not being fulfilled, and that change may not be the best for you for a long-term growth. So you need to be careful when you make the change. This is not a disastrous result. This is still a pretty good placement because the Kendra lord or Lagna lord has gone into the 5th house. So this is strongly a Rajyoga placement as long as you are able to derive the benefits from it. The only challenge being the Lagna lord and the 7th and the 6th lord going in degradation in the 5th house. Then Moon ruling the 3rd house of effort and going into the 7th house in degradation. This could mean that your efforts in teamwork could face a challenge where many times you may become over emotional or over sensitive with your team members, because of which there may be challenges connected to working in a partnership, working in a team. So be a little careful. This may also be a challenging placement where you are working in a partnership in your own business, in your own enterprise, or doing something online as an influencer or in the social media. Then Mercury being the lord of the 2nd house of income and the 5th house of change of career, and then going in degradation in the 11th house of wishes and desires and working for large organizations. So this can be a slightly tricky placement and challenging placement where your livelihood is concerned, income is concerned, and also where change is concerned, because change may be slow or not be coming by. So this is slightly tricky placement surely for Taurus ascendant natives. A watch out placement as long as you are taking care of these small things that I have pointed to you about.